What up folks, this is Hirostormwolf, and this is just a quick video to give you my overall first impressions and feelings about the Destiny beta. So it's been out for about a week and a half for PlayStation 4 users and PlayStation 3 users, and I think it just came out on Tuesday for Xbox One users and stuff like that. I've been playing the PS4 version, I've also played the alpha, so I've had kind of extensive coverage of this game in its beta and alpha stages, so that's where I'm going to base everything off of my two experiences off the beta and the alpha so far. Starting from the alpha, it was pretty straightforward. You get 4 maps to play on. You get 2 Crucible maps. It was fun. You go through the somewhat story missions. There was really no cutscenes back in the alpha, so you just kind of went from mission to mission, and just like you did the missions, which was fine. They were fun, but they were kind of short. I mean, you really don't get much to explore in those story missions. You can't really go out and explore stuff. So you just it's kind of linear in that sense, but there are exploration maps, or at least there was 2 in the alpha, where you can go around the entire area without having it cut off by the story missions. And you can do side missions, find materials and stuff like that, and random events that happen throughout the exploration part. So that's really cool. Looking forward to doing some of that on different planets. The way that transitioned into the beta, it's kind of the exact same thing, except they added cutscenes, actual cutscenes to the game. So for the first 4 or 5 story missions, you get actual cutscenes and a little bit of the story of what's going on in Destiny. I'm not going to spoil it, of course, just in case people want to play the beta themselves. They haven't played it yet. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, but it just gives a brief introduction as to why you're fighting and what exactly happened as to in the situation you're in now. So I thought that was cool. Aside from that, it's the exact same 4 story missions. Nothing's really changed. I think they might have tweaked the AI a little bit, but nothing was really changed in the sense of playing through those 4 story missions again, other than getting the cutscenes. Which, again, it's fine and it's fun, but I kind of wish they kind of extended that in the beta, because it kind of felt like a carbon copy from the alpha. Which, I mean, I understand, again, this is all beta and alpha, so this is not the full release of the game. It's just when you go from an alpha stage to a beta stage, you kind of expect a little bit more, I guess, or at least that's probably just my expectations. But other than that, the Crucible matches from the alpha, you only get to play on the moon, and it was a refinery, I think, or something in regards to a refinery. They extended that to 2 other maps in the beta, but you still only have the 1 Crucible match, which is the Domination. Which, it's fine, it's fun, it's fast-paced, it feels a lot like Halo/Call of Duty in a sense, but in a good way. You have the fast-paced jumping action, you have the grenades, you have the powers, but you also have the sort of gunplay that you get in Call of Duty from the older Call of Duties, like Call of Duty 4 type of gunplay. I will say, though, you kind of die very quickly, and you kill people very quickly, if that makes sense. Like, it doesn't matter if you have a shield or not. You can drop somebody in about, 3 or 4 shots. And it kind of feels like people kind of die a little too fast, maybe. But I'm not too sure. That could be just because you have a limitation on the gear and the levels that you get. Which is another thing I'm going to talk about actually right now. In both the alpha and the beta, you're limited to level 8. That's the highest you can go. But you can get gear from higher levels, but you can't use them. So it's kind of like a cock tease. It's like, here's this level 20 gun that you can't use because you're level 8. So it's kind of frustrating. You can, I think, get higher level weapons in Crucible matches by playing a lot of the Crucible matches and winning. You'll get these Crucible badges, and once you get enough, you can buy higher level guns. So that's pretty cool that you can actually do that. They kind of want you to grind out the multiplayer and stuff like that, so you can get better gear and stuff like that, which I like a lot. I feel that's going to be a big thing in this game, is just grinding out some gear, playing Crucible matches, going to exploration maps, and just finding things, finding loot, finding side missions, and just kind of grinding out until you can get high enough to do the story mission. So, again, I thought that's very good, very cool. The game overall, I like it in terms of the beta. Overall, it's fun. I like it. I enjoy it. I just kind of wish there was a bit more from the alpha, so it doesn't feel like the same experience, because I've played it and I played it again. It can get a bit repetitive, simply because it is a beta. There's not really much to do, but it is a fun game. I am gonna pre-order it. I am gonna buy the game. Still looking forward to it because I can imagine what's gonna be in the full version of the game, and I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to exploring other planets, going around, doing missions and stuff like that. So, if I have to say this game was a mix between something, I would say it's a mix between Borderlands, Halo, just a tad bit of Call of Duty in a good way, Mass Effect, and Star Wars in a sense. So I'm actually looking forward to that. That's kind of the impression I've had while playing the game. So that's really cool. One last complaint, and this is an actual complaint, is the only way you can communicate with your teammates is if you invite them to your fire squad and you invite them to like a private party. I think that's really counterproductive. They explained why they did this, because they don't want the experience ruined by random people. But you can just simply mute those people. That just seems to be more productive than sitting there, you know, okay, I got to invite a fire team, then I got to invite them to my private party. It just seems like it takes up a lot of time just to get that all set up to where you'll be playing like a quick mission for maybe, you know, 30-35 minutes, and then you're gonna disband anyway. So it's just kind of weird. And I think it's the same thing in the Crucible matches. I couldn't hear any other players while I was playing. That could be chalked up to maybe they was all in fire teams or anything like that. But it's really hard to form a team around that, where, you know, in an online kind of MMO type game where you're kind of restricted to communication to where you have to invite them. It's kind of weird and kind of counterproductive. I hope there's like either a filter or a way they can change that in the full release of the game. It just seems very counterproductive. But this was just a quick video, just give my overall thoughts about it. Again, I think the game in its current stage is really good. I can't wait for the full release. I'm expecting a lot more. But thanks for watching this video. I know it's not as informative as it should be, but again, these are just my overall thoughts and opinions on the alpha and the beta so far. So yeah, that's just my overall thoughts of what I think of Destiny so far in its current stages. Again, I like the game. I think it's going to be really good. If you want to see a full review of Destiny when the game comes out, be sure to subscribe to my friend's channel, Dash at Thirst. I will leave a link in the description down below for it. Also, be sure to check out putthatback.org for more game-related news, videos, written articles, and more geek-related things. I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. Peace.
Heavy ammo on the